with my YouTube audience. And more bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. That's how the Iceman gets down. Decided to holler at y'all on a Tuesday night. You tuned in to the Iceman Show, and I am your host, the Iceman. Can you dig it? Got a lot of things popping off, but there's always things happening under the surface that we may or may not be aware of. Let me grab something real quick. Damn, what did I do with that? Oh, here it is. Sorry about that, folks. I had my mic jack in, and when that happens, you can't hear anything. So sorry about that. I apologize for that minor delay in being able to hear me. Hopefully you can hear me now. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts, y'all. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? All people in between. You could be anywhere else, but you decided to get down with the Iceman. So without further ado, the only thing I can do is get down with you. Can you dig it? Anyway, the one thing I wanted to start off by saying, ladies and gentlemen, today is do not allow yourselves to get caught up in everything that Donald Trump says. People seem to thrive on trying to prove that Black folks have a problem where we try to, we're on this quest to try to prove that Donald Trump is a racist. You already know he is. You already know he a racist. You also know he ain't the first openly racist president. So I get a little irritated with Black people that we try to pretend, or I'm not saying we pretend, but we have this mentality that we can't believe the things that Donald Trump does on a regular basis. And then when we hear or see or hear the things that he does that confirms that he's a card-carrying white nationalist, then you want to turn around and whine all over Facebook. And I'm just like, really? Really? That's the best you can do? What are you going to do about it? That's my question to you. What are you going to do about it besides vote? in 2020 again for free instead of leveraging your vote. Unlike being a blind consumer, as a voting bloc, you have some power. Consumers have no power, especially if they refuse to consume as a bloc or not consume as a bloc. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. And thank God for the young brothers and sisters who sat this election out. I salute you. Because you know what the real deal is. And old black folks like that are my age and older are the stupid ones. It's just like this young brother was on somebody's show last week. And he said, the caller said I think he said he was in his early 30s. And he said that he was talking about not voting. And some old dusty Negro, older than me, because he said this guy was probably in his 60s. He said this old nigga came in there, start going off on him. Time I see you young niggas, y'all don't participate in nothing. Y'all don't do nothing. And he said, then you sitting up here, you don't vote. And then homeboy said, hold up, OG. What am I voting for? You tell me, what am I voting for? What am I getting for my vote? Because in order to see, other races of people don't vote for nothing. They don't vote because, well, my grandmama, they got lynched on the way to go vote. No, they don't vote for reasons like that, dumb reasons like that. They vote based on what they have, the politician has promised them, and based on them giving him money or her money so that they can get their campaign promises once they become candidate elect. And they become that candidate, they become that politician, they leverage that into getting some trinkets, getting some benefits, whatever it is. It could be immigration reform, it could be concessions for women. When we say women, we mean Caucasian women, not everybody else. Okay? Black women have a habit of believing when Caucasian women say something about we're fighting for women's rights, they think they're talking about all women. No, they only want you to come out there and pump your fist. And put your fist in the air like this. They just want you to do that and come out there and support them. But when it's time to get that cash, to get that check, or to get that bag, the Caucasian women walk off with the bag. And the black women end up with nothing. Like that old ham hock nose, what's her name? Tiana, whatever her name, the one that started the Me Too movement. She actually didn't start the movement. She started the hashtag. And Caucasian women, the feminist groups, hijacked it, stole it like they steal everything else. And then when all the money start coming in, because at least $40-something million have come in to the coffers of the white-owned nonprofits owned by these Caucasian women. They got all the money. The only thing Tiana, whatever her name is, ham hock nose, or KRS-One, whatever her name is, the only thing she has gotten in return has been speaking engagement fees, and that's it. Because again, all black people want is attention and a pat on the head from white mommy and white zaddy. We don't want anything else. We don't want no money. We don't want nothing. Black women are not offended that, and I guarantee that Tiana, whatever her name is, she's not offended that the Caucasian women walked away with the bag. She's not offended because she's getting some shine. And that's all she wants is some shine. She don't want nothing else. And this is why we always get played. Every election we get played. Whether it's a black candidate or a Caucasian candidate or some other race of person, we end up with nothing because we don't enforce. We don't, first of all, there's two things we don't do. We don't leverage our vote as a voting block, collective voting block, and we don't, or we're actually three things. We don't tell politicians, this is our platform. This is what we want. We want reparations. This is what we want. We want SBA loans for black-owned businesses, small businesses. That's what we want. Let's just stick with those two things. Say that's part of the black agenda for 2020. How do you leverage that? Well, the second thing you do is you tell them that's what our platform, that's what we want you to run on. But the third thing that black folks also naively, and not necessarily naively, but out of ignorance, what we don't do is we don't give these politicians money. See, money solidifies the telling them what the platform's going to be and whether or not we're going to vote for them. That's what the money does. That's why you notice you might see a candidate running for something and they say, well, such and such is backed by the Veterans for Swift boats. Well, how much did they give them? Well, they gave him 20 grand. Black folks sit there looking at TV like, do-de-do-de, vote-de-do-de-do, do-de-do-de-duh. Because black folks think, again, we actually believe that a vote is free. We don't understand follow-up. We don't understand trying to get politicians to do our bidding. Why does a politician run for office? Why do they run for office? They run for office to represent you. So they are, by way of proxy, they represent you in essence. What we think is that we vote for free, first of all. The second thing we do is we don't ask for anything. We don't tell politicians what we want, because when you tell a politician what you want, you back it up with the third thing, which was what? Money. Because once they take your money, they're on the hook. Because what happens to politicians who don't kiss the right money and who don't do the bidding that their supporters have and the money that they had to kiss during the campaign trail? What happens? Scandals start breaking out of nowhere. And there's always, you have to understand, these people, these are very wealthy people. So they have private investigators. They have other ancillary shadowy figures who can be hired to ruin your life. They'll get footage on you. Say you're out here having sex with squirrels. Well, somebody will come show up to your office with pictures of you having sex with squirrels. And you'll be like, oh my God, how did you get this? No one knows about this. And then what will they say? Just like they do in the movies and on TV. If you don't do such and such, These pictures are going to get to the press. And everybody's going to know that you practice bestiality. That's why that situation happened with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. When he pushed through that tax cut, that pissed the conservatives off. And they went for his ass after that. They tried to impeach him without convicting him, which is why they, convicted him didn't work. I mean, impeaching him was just, let's just say that that was just something they did. Okay, they didn't amount to anything, didn't do anything. But it was more of a symbolic gesture. By the way, they wasted $30 million doing it with the Ken Starr investigation and all that crap. That's why you can't listen to so-called these black ministers who have appointed themselves as black leaders. You cannot listen to them tell you what to do with your vote, because these people, all they do is get that bag, and then they get on the radio or the TV and tell you what to do after they've made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars off of them supposedly speaking for you when they go to the White House or when they go to these corporations to shake them down for money. This is what they do. And now they're living a baller lifestyle. You're still riding the bus to work. Al Sharpton's worth $3 million. What has he done? Well, he's talked. He's talked a lot about a lot of stuff, but he represents that old guard. He represents the old civil rights generation who have done nothing for my generation or generations after me. And now these young brothers and sisters are waking up and saying, just like I just said about that story a few minutes ago, why am I voting? What am I voting for? And when that young brother said that to that old fool, he didn't have anything to say. He was like, well, it's just something you should do because, our ancestors fought for it. He was like, that ain't good enough reason, old man. That's not a good enough reason, old man. That's not good enough. And you're right. I'm an old man, and I say it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I could care less that people fought and died for me to vote. What you should have been fighting and dying for is starting businesses so that black children and black teenagers have somewhere to work during the year and in the summer. Instead, they ain't got nowhere to go vote because your dumb old ass is working over here at the plant. You over there at the GM and the Ford plant kissing ass to keep your job. You over in some white corporation's office buck dancing for a paycheck. That's why. And voting ain't gonna change that, because the people you voting for have no allegiance to you, because you haven't put them in a position where they are forced to kiss your ass and abide by you. The voting bloc has sent them to Washington, D.C. or the state capitol or the mayor's office to do your bidding for you. I remember one time my dad said something to me. He said, he asked me, do you go to church? Do you go to church? Do you ever go to church or something like that? And I'm paraphrasing. And I said, no. What for? He didn't say nothing else. What for? What am I going to church for? There's no reason for me to go. I'm not getting any redeeming value out of going to church. I've listened to lying ass reverends my whole life of all races. I have no reason to go to church unless it's somebody's funeral, a wedding, which I love going to weddings because it's always much bouteille at weddings, or there's some, or I might pop in just see. It might pop in at a church to see if there's some nice trim I can holler at. Other than that, I have no reason to go to your church or anybody else's church. And you can sit up and say, well, your parents went to church. Your parents took you to church. Yeah, and that's another reason why I don't go to church. Because everybody I know that goes to church and calls themselves a Christian are hate-filled liars who still drink, who still fornicate, who still party, who keep grudges, who are hateful liars, jealous liars, who hold grudges against their own family members. That's why I don't go to church. And if I ever do get up and go to church, it's for my own selfish, perverted reasons. That's it. So you don't have no reason to send me emails trying to convince me that I should go to church. Everybody, most of the guys I know, my frat brothers, these some of my Greek homeboys, they be like, man, I don't go to no damn church. I said, man, I was like you. I had to go to church all damn week. Choir rehearsal, church. Ain't going to that bullshit. See, once you start educating yourself on, and this ain't hotep shit. Once you start investigating and researching and educating yourself on all matters, Black history, what's going on in Africa within the Black diaspora. Once you start figuring out that these white supremacists are preying on us, we're prey, they're predators. They're sharks, we're tuna. Once you figure that out, you're going to stop being mad at me and stop saying, well, that Negro full of shit. Once you figure that out, once you accept that white supremacy is the law of the land, once you figure that out, you'll be a lot happier. You'll be a happier individual. You will. Because I, like a lot of you, was in the same position you're in right now. Anytime I had Black men or women who stepped to me, teaching me about white supremacy and about how the Christian religion was garbage and nothing more than a mechanism to keep Black people under control, and that the Queen James Bible ain't even the origin, has about 10% of it, 10% of the original Hebrew Bible, which is what we wrote, our people wrote, appears in the Queen James Bible. Now, let me ask you something. If I rewrote a Bible from Hebrew and I said to you, oh, by the way, slaves, I got this Hebrew Bible. I got this Hebrew Bible right here. I don't really read or write Hebrew, but I'm going to transcribe it into English. By the way, I sleep with my mother. I have sex with my mother. I have sex with eunuch little boys where we have removed their testicles so their skin will be nice and soft and supple. I also dress in women's clothes. That's where that Victoria's Secret came from. That's where the name of that store came from. It came from the kings, the male monarchy in the UK. Because you have to understand, if you look at the old pictures of Caucasians from the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, if you notice, they dress like women. And they had to purposely change the male clothing in America so that it wasn't feminine. And again, if there used to be a play, there used to be a, I don't know if it was a play or a Broadway, maybe it was a type of show. I don't think it was a play. It was called Victor Victoria. And I forgot the actress who used to do that show, because she used to come out to LA all the time at the Pantages Theater. I forgot what her name is, but she used to do that show. She would come out, one side she was dressed like a man, and then the other side she was dressed like a woman. All that comes from King James and all of them people. See, if you have no historical reference from some of the traditions that you are a part of, that makes you an idiot. If you have no interest in learning. Because what a lot of black folks like to do is say, oh, you one of them woke niggas. Oh, you one of them hotep niggas. You don't know what the hell you talking about. Dude, Google the shit. I don't just reach out and just grab shit out the air. This stuff is in articles. You might have to dig for it. I've read a lot of books. That's why I know this stuff. I can give you a list of books to read. Let me show you a book that I've had this book for years. This is a very important book that I think all Black people need to read, whether you're a Muslim or not. Okay? This book is called Why the White Man is the Devil. Now, when I first bought this book, I was like, man, what kind of old Nation of Islam garbage is this going to be? And this book is written by Muhammad Shabazz and Ali Shaheed. Okay? This book is straight fire. It is an academic. I thought it was just going to be a bunch of black men in here writing, hey, yeah, the white man, the devil. No, it is nothing like that. It gives receipts on how they created the AIDS virus, the HIV/AIDS virus, how they invented all kinds of nerve agents and biological agents by the CDC, which is why that black officer, that naval officer that ended up in the Chattahoochee River, I think that's the name of it, in Atlanta. He was working for the CDC, and he went and told some folks about the stuff that they be doing in the CDC, and all of a sudden he ended up talking about he committed suicide. I think he was a lieutenant commander, Navy officer. He was I think he was a chemist or something like that. Black men just don't kill themselves like that and end up in the black men don't jump in rivers and drown. Okay, just like that sister, that black judge that was sending them mafiosos to prison up there in New York. She ended up in the Hudson River. And when they did an autopsy on her, they talking about, oh, it was suicide. But yet the autopsy also said there wasn't no water in her lungs, which means she was dead before she hit the water. Now, you can use certain types of chemicals, usually used by the CIA and special forces and other assorted shadow figures. You can use chemicals to shut down somebody's heart. And by the time you do an autopsy on it, it just goes, it's untraceable. Y'all better wake up, man. I suggest you get this book. I got it from a black bookstore in Baltimore. I ordered it, paid for it, and the guy sent it to me because I lost my first copy. This is a very important read. The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor, is a Black Rhodes Scholar. Get that book. He passed away a few years ago. Get that book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. Very important book. You need to go get that book called The 6 Black Presidents. I forgot. I can't find that book. I had that book. I don't know where that book is. I have a book called Black Judaism, which talks about how black people were the first Jews. So if you talk in Christianity, they talk about the chosen people. We know we ain't talking about Caucasian people because they done too much evil. You can't be the devil and be the chosen people. That's not how it works, people. But you better get this book. This is a mind-opening book right here for me, because it answered questions that I always had, and it's cited. Almost everything in this book is cited. This is not a woke book where they just sitting up here calling white people devils. They provide receipts on why he and she, his female counterpart, are what they say they are. Get my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. This isn't just a book on dating. I talk about white supremacy. I talk about the Tulsa how they murdered all those folks in Tulsa, which the Gap band is you know, Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. That's where they're from, Tulsa. That song, You Dropped a Bomb on Me, was them talking about the Tulsa riots. I mean, not riot, because it wasn't a riot. It was an attack, a sneak attack. I talk about that in here, but I do talk about dating in here. You can get my book at asktheiceman.com or amazon.com. Let me put it in here so you have no excuse not to get it. What's the name of your book again, man? Oh, Hotep ass nigga. All right. And so, and again, I tell people all that people say to me, they say, "Hey man, you ain't one of these Kill Whitey type brothers. You know, how come you ain't oh, you right. Hey, let me read something. Hey, what up, One Mark DC? Let me read something that Red Star put on here. He said Al Sharpton and Don Lemon are only worth $3 million. Their net worth is $3 million apiece. However, Rachel Maddow and Anderson Cooper make $7 million a year. They don't realize they're getting used by the power structure. Let me expound on what my man just said or what he wrote. And thanks a lot for that comment. See, you have to understand something. Al Sharpton and Don Lemon are on these respective cable news, so-called news channels to garner a certain block of eyeballs. Okay? Notice they got rid of Melissa, whatever her name was, very good looking sister, but very feminist, very nasty toward black men. They got rid of her. She used to be on Saturday morning. I used to watch her when I was on a treadmill when I used to go to another athletic club. And like I said, she's easy on the eyes. That's the only reason why I used to watch her. If you really think Don Lemonade and Al Sharpton are on TV because they tell the truth, you're a fool. Hey, Cupcake 701, will you stop writing this ridiculous writing with all these periods and stuff? Stop doing that. You're annoying me. By the way, YouTube is $5 Tuesday. $5 Tuesday. Let's get it cracking. Here's the link right here. Remember, I fundraise all the time because I always have to bring money in to my nonprofit. Remember, Black people, nothing is free. If you see, that's the problem with a lot of Black folks. See, if I was Richard Spencer, I could raise probably $2 or $3 grand a day easily, because unlike other races realize nothing is free. Black people are always doing this here. That's why Black folks have no problem going to somebody's house, going to a barbecue and not bringing anything, because we come from these single female head of households where there ain't no structure and no order and no discipline. Jeremy Binion, I'll talk about that a little later in the broadcast. Let me get through this stuff first. But I will cover that. There is a reason for that. But you can get the paper, you can get my book in paperback or tablet, and I always suggest to people, don't just buy one. Because I've had several people buy 3 or 4 copies from me and say, yeah, I just passed them out to all my nephews and stuff at Christmas. Because I was like, nigga, you need to read this. Because you ignorant. See, we expect something for free. We expect to be given something for free, but then with politicians, we give them a free vote, because a vote is a coward's apparatus. You don't have to do anything. See, with a vote, you don't have to commit to anything. So cowards don't mind voting, because they'll go down there and punch that little card, or they'll play on that little machine and they think they did. So ooh, I voted. Look at me. Pat me on my back. I voted. And I'm like, don't break your hand patting yourself on the back, lady. But if you ask those same Black people to support Black businesses, they'll tell you to go fuck yourself. Y'all see how that works? They won't support your Black-owned business, but they'll vote. They'll vote for free because they don't have to commit to anything. Cowards go to church because even though they know it's a waste of time, it's something to do. Some people see church the same way we see the club or going to a bar. It's a social hangout. There's no spiritual significance in going to church, but people do it anyway. And I tell Black folks all the time, these young brothers and sisters getting tired of y'all. These young brothers and sisters getting tired of old niggas my age and older. They're getting tired. They're getting tired of hearing that bullshit because of your old scary ass. And you can unfriend me on Facebook. I don't give a shit. You can unsub from my channel on YouTube. I lose subscribe almost especially when I post these kinds of videos. Whenever I post these kinds of videos, I lose 3 or 4 subscribers a week. And then on Facebook, I lose, 2 or 3 so-called Facebook friends. And And I have no problem with either one. You take your ass on. I'd rather you take your sorry ass on and go keep, celebrating Thanksgiving and keep celebrating Christmas. Keep on doing all of that at your own peril. Because these white supremacists and these honorary white supremacists, like these Mexicans and these Asians, will blow your brains out. Let's see if white Jesus and white Luke and white Matthew and white Mark and all the rest, and Bartholomew and all the rest of them, let's see if they'll protect you from a goddamn bullet. Remember, these white supremacists, especially down south, they're still burning down churches. They're still firebombing churches. We just don't hear about it. They burned the church like last month down there because they know that kind of stuff is important. Whatever's important to you, they try to take it away or they try to kill it. So, because I have black people send me messages talk about, well, if voting was a waste of time, then why do they try to suppress the vote? Because they know it's important to you. And what better way than to piss you off and make you scared by suppressing your right to vote? And I say to that, so what? So what they suppressing the vote? If they suppress my vote, you think I'm going to go down there and complain about it? No, I'm sitting my ass at home because I'd rather be at home anyway than wasting my time voting for a politician who ain't going to do a damn thing for me anyway. All them dumbass people down there in Florida standing in line waiting to vote. And all them Latinos that Andrew Gillum thought he was going to get, they all voted for DeSantis, including 18% of black women voted for DeSantis. Now, I don't care one way or the other whether Andrew Gillum or Stacey J.J. Abrams won, because both of them were frauds. Talking about my platform is LGBT. My platform is immigration reform. Don't say nothing about reparations for blacks. Don't say, look, let me tell you something. Your first allegiance is to people who look like you. So if you're a politician and you're snickering, slick smiling ass like Andrew Gill, look at his pictures. He like something is not right with him. He's a phony. I mean, Stacey Abrams was a phony too, but Andrew Gillum was a major phony. And because the young black vote didn't show up for Andrew Gillum, well, he graduated from FAMU. Well, FAMU didn't represent, did they? No. The young brothers and sisters of the state of Georgia and Florida, they sat that one out. Because if they'd have came out and voted, they would both of them would have easily won. The number of votes between all four of those candidates wasn't that much. But young brothers and sisters said, Andrew Gillum, Stacey J.J. Abrams, take these. Now, again, you can be a coward and run off into the woods somewhere and denounce me and say that I'm wrong for telling you that your vote is a waste of time. You ain't hurting me. I'm still going to keep doing this show. I'm still going to keep doing this broadcast. I'm not going to stop doing this broadcast, whether you unfriend me or not, or unsub. Not going to stop, player. I'm going to keep doing me, because I know for all of the people who really care about being told the truth, those are the folks I continue to fight for. I don't do this broadcast for those of you who don't ever contribute anything. I don't do this broadcast for you. I do it for the brothers and sisters who have supported me from 8 years ago up until today. Those are the folks that I keep doing this broadcast for. Everybody else can kiss my natural black, rusty, old ass. Come on, people. We only got one person donate. Come on, man. Come on, Jeremy Binion, Red Star, Monstar 86. Come on, brothers. $5. Let's do it. Come on, man. I know somebody already donated, but come on, let's get this thing popping, man. What's the agenda for 2020? Bet you don't even have one, do you? What did we talk about last week? We talked about what? I gave you a few items to start your agenda. I said reparations, guaranteed, SBA loans for Black-owned small businesses. Because, and why do we want that? Because when they brought them Vietnamese, when they brought those the people from Laos, which is the Hmongs, when they brought the Cambodians over here, they gave them cash money. They gave them money for housing. They gave them money to start businesses. And where did they stick them? In the black neighborhoods all over this country. When the Arabs came over here, they stuck them in our neighborhoods, not theirs. And they continue to do that. And we are being gentrified out of neighborhoods we've been in some places 100 years. You go to Harlem and it's starting to look like white Disneyland. And you sitting up here voting for nothing. A lot of these developers, you know where they get their money from to gentrify neighborhoods where we lived all our lives? They get them from pension plans, they get them from shady banks, and they also get hard loans from cartel-owned businesses. You better do your research. Since you think I'm lying, do your research. Prove me wrong. Instead of unfriending me and unsubbing. Do your research first. And if I'm telling lies, then you unfriend me or unsub. I don't care. I don't care if you do or not, because I don't need you. I got a refrigerator full of food and I'm straight. Bills are paid. So you only hurting yourself by not getting educated. And what else do we talk about? I said SBA loans for Black-owned businesses. And what else? What else could be on the agenda for 2020? And reparations, that's an umbrella term. The specifics, it could be tax breaks for Black, certainly for Black folks. It could be free education. You could give us money to buy all of those HBCUs that are owned by old white family trusts. Because none of them are owned by us. They're managed by us, but they ain't owned by us. I don't understand why somebody would even say something that's historically black, because that's a misleading term. A lot of people think it means it's black owned. That's not true. There are white people that go to these black schools. Don't think that there's no white people that go to Grambling or Howard or Spelman. You better ask somebody, and not just gray girls. And yo, word to your mother type fake ass Caucasian dudes, gray boys. Let's just stop at black SBA loans, because I don't want to be doing this all night. That could be the start of a black platform for politicians going into 2020. You've probably heard this by now, but Hillary, all black men are super predators. Clinton is talking about running in 2020. This show you the ignorance and the greed of that woman. She thinks that because Donald Trump's presidential rating is in the 30s, that means that translates that she's gonna run, that she should run for president. Remember, the Electoral College is what selects your president, and the powers that, remember that unseen hand? Remember this? The Electoral College was created so that no matter what the popular vote is, they had the final say on who is going to be president. Apparently, folks didn't learn that with Al Gore's versus Bush. Apparently, y'all didn't learn that then. But you also are misinformed as to all of the Caucasian women, college educated and uneducated, who voted for Trump. Because you have to understand, they weren't voting the conservative ticket. They were voting the white supremacist ticket. Don't get it twisted. That's why all those senators voted to confirm Kavanaugh. Now, one of the Democrats lost her seat, which I could care less one way or the other, because I ain't a Democrat. But they did what they were told to do. And that's support white supremacy, no matter how bad the person is. And you got black folks who sit around and whine on Al Sharpton's show and whine on Karen Hunter's show. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, dude, shut up. All these old, scary black people calling in, whining, talking about Donald Trump's. And then you got these old Negroes that have nerve to be calling in, talking about Bible. Talking about, well, you know, in the scripture, it said, look, black people, the Bible is not a go-to source to protect you from white supremacy, because white supremacists wrote it. You sound stupid when you're talking about dealing with white supremacy and your only comeback is talking about scripture in a... This is why my generations and all generations after it have been left with nothing, because black people want to do what's easy, what takes less risk. Anything that takes less risk and takes no effort. Black people engage in that. But if you ask Black people to do something that will benefit all of us, they will not do it. They will not do it. And that's why those of us who are grassroots, we are going to have to take the lead and leave these biscuit-eating, cheese-eating niggas behind. All of you guys who are going to be giving your free vote come 2020, I suggest you unfriend me, because you're wasting your time listening to this. Because I think a lot of people listen because they think I'm going to say something funny, so they listen. And then when they hear straight up game, they go find something else to do. Because they're like, oh, I ain't trying to hear no, I thought he was going to be clowning. I thought he was going to be acting silly. Not tonight. YouTube, what's up, man? Right. Black people are Christians because the slave masters were. You have to ask yourself, if you're a slave master and you own another human being, what does that make you? What does that make you? Who's the savage, me or you? Guess you don't want to answer that, huh? See, Black folks don't want to apply critical thinking skills to this equation. Because if they did that, you would probably wake up, get pissed off, and then go get a gun and want to go out here and start slaying people. That's not the right course of action. Although getting legally going to buy a gun is your Second Amendment right. All right, 2 people donated. Come on, man. Appreciate it, Brown Sausage, man. Where's the rest of y'all? Come on, man. Stop bullshitting. Come on, YouTube. See, this is not a popularity contest for me. This is about educating people. People say, well, what do you give? How do you give back? Well, you see how I give back. Huh? This is how I give back. These 2 platforms that I'm on right now, that's how I give back. What do you give back besides whining and complaining? I mean, all day long, all you read, Trump's a racist. Trump's a racist. Trump said this today. Trump said that. So what? Why are you hanging on his every word? He ain't saying nothing. Everything that come out of his mouth is a damn lie. Why are you following everything he says? Why are you covering? Why are you sitting there getting angry? I don't get mad about Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump makes me gleeful because I like my white supremacists out in the open. There's 2 kinds of white supremacists. The ones like Donald Trump who tell you exactly what he thinks of you, and the ones that smile and grin in your face, but they think the same thing he thinks. The Nancy Pelosi's, the Hillary Clintons, the Bill Clintons. See, black folks love them. Why? Why? Everything they have done has been to your detriment. But you don't want to do any homework so that you can see what the hell I'm talking about. Instead, what you want to do, you figure if you unfriend me or unsub, you figure, oh, I took care of the problem. That's the problem, him. Let me take care of this problem. The problem ain't me. The problem is you know exactly what I'm talking about, but you would rather be a coward and not do anything. You would rather not do anything, which is what black folks are famous for. But then we'll sit there and complain about people killing us. But we're sitting ducks. We put ourselves in a position where we're sitting ducks. Don't complain about it. And don't sit up there and listen to people like Al Sharp to tell you, oh, you this because y'all didn't come out to vote. You could have came out to vote and it would have been the same outcome. If the Democratic Party cannot produce a presidential candidate, and like I said again, presidents are selected, not elected. So that might be a waste. But Congress, those are not a waste if you know how to leverage your vote and you get a block of money together and you say, hey, we're giving you this money. Once that politician takes that money, they're on the hook. They're beholden to you. See, black folks don't understand that. See, a collective is power. I was listening to Karen Hunter's show on my way back from the store. And she said that overwhelmingly black women vote more than black men do. And I was like, so, and your point is what? That's because black women don't support anything that's black. Now they support blackface. Let me explain something to you. Black candidates like Jim Clyburn and Sheila Jackson Lee, Stacey J.J. Abrams and Andrew Gillum's phony ass. You have to understand something. These people are white people or white supremacists in blackface. That's what they are. Because they're not there for us. They're not there to support us because nothing they do helps us. We have to stop talking about black and brown. There is no black and brown, people. There's just black. Stop thinking that Latinos, that there's some black and brown coalition out here. There is none. And although your black ass may want interracial sex with some of these other races because you don't know how to deal with a black woman or you don't know how to deal with black men, leave your perversions on the back burner for a second. You don't, when I listen to Univision, because I understand Spanish enough to understand what they're saying. Never on any of these Spanish language stations have I ever heard of a black and brown coalition. They go to great lengths to not show the Afro-Latino part of their heritage. They go out of their way to be totally disrespectful to black Latinos. And then those black Latinos have the nerve to turn around, look just like us, and say, oh, I'm not black. You see how that works? Oh, I'm Latino. Well, I can't. If you're so Latino, if you're a black Cuban, why don't you take your ass down to Little Havana and hang out down there and see how welcome you'll be? Why don't you take your, since there's some black and brown coalition, why don't you take your ass over there to East LA and see how welcome you'll be? Since there's a black and brown coalition out here. Black people always like to act like they got some allies out here when they really don't. There is no Latino brothers. It's just us. There is no Latino brothers and sisters. It's just us. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just telling you the truth. I ain't never seen La Raza or none of these other Latino groups out here caping for black folks. I don't never hear them out here talking about, hey, why don't we get some reparations for these black folks? I don't hear none of them other groups out there caping for us, but we out there caping for, hey man, they separate new kids from their parents. The scriptures say not to do that. You dumb niggas. You caping for Julio and Maria and Sancho and them, and ain't nobody caping for you, not even yourself. That's why we always left naked out here to be pimped any old kind of way. You got black women running around here calling themselves feminists. Do you know that's an oxymoron? You can't be a feminist predator and a victim of white supremacy and racism. You can't be both, black women. You either gonna be a victim or you're gonna be, or you can't even be a predator. You can't be a feminist, because the same women who call themselves feminists are the same women who are oppressing you. So how can you be on the same team with them unless you're a fucking sellout? If you, after today, if you still consider yourself to be a black feminist, it's because you're a retard. You're a retard. Because you're not part of the oppressor class. You're not Caucasian. You're not a white supremacist. So you as a black person, you are a victim of white supremacy. So you can't be an oppressor and a victim. You look like a fool trying to explain that to somebody. But as you see, brothers, black women always like to try to act like they on a different team than we're on. That's why 18% of them voted for DeSantis down there in Florida. And I still have black folks saying, so I don't believe this is true. You know what, dude? You know what? I ain't kissing your ass. If you don't believe it, true. Hey, no problem, bruh. But it's true. And you can unfriend me and take your little scary, little cowardly ass on. But it'll still be the same. Black women think they are better than black men. They think because if they go to college or if they go to church, they think they better than us. Black women will always side with the oppressor over you. And that's why we have to start calling these Negro bedwench mammy coons out. Somebody sent me a message talking about, what do you think about Donald Trump talking to them black female reporters like that? First of all of them are mammies. 2 of them are fat mammies, if you notice that. They don't put those black women up there for nothing. You think if they were real black women, do you really think they would be in the White House core? No. No. So wake up. Hey, this stuff ain't easy to take. It took years before I finally woke up and finally started understanding what kind of propaganda that I have been believing all this time. It takes time to wake up. Some people wake up before then. You got black women up here talking about, Wakanda forever and all this. Well, we should have our black children go see Black Panther. Really? But you ain't gonna have your family. You ain't gonna have you ain't gonna buy Hidden Colors 1 through 4 or 1804. You're not gonna buy that, or Race War when Jason Black has Race War come out on DVD next month. I think next month. I think he said next month. You won't take your kids to go see that. Did you take your kids to go see that in the theater? No. But some old fictitious country that doesn't exist, that didn't do shit for us. It made Disney over $1 billion. You go out there and support that goofball shit, but you won't support black-owned businesses. If Disney would have let me tell you something, if Spike Lee would have directed Black Panther and it would have been about real Black Panthers, not one black woman would have been sitting next to you in the theater. Fuck out of here. Yeah, Al Sharpton's he's very intelligent. And he knows how to talk that. He knows how to talk that go out and vote shit better than anybody. But he don't fool me. And some of them old brothers be calling up there, getting on his case. Talk about Mr. Sharpton. Look, man, with all due respect, you need to stop getting on your radio show telling black folks to go out there and vote, but don't build an economic base. And Al Sharpton will hurry up and get them people off the phone. I've been in my car a few times when they checked his ass. And magically, he tried to sidestep and get out. Talk about, well, we got to make. We can't do nothing without the political system in this country. Yes, we can. Asians prove that. Asians vote less than anybody else in this country. Why? Because they don't need to. They got their economic game on par. They pool their money. They lift everybody up. When somebody gets out of line, they bitch slap them. They have mechanisms in place to reward and punish. Black folks do not. That's why we have so many coons, mammies, and Negro bedwenches, because you can screw over black society and there not be any repercussions. I have family members who screwed me over on money deals and who screwed me in other ways. and they're getting ready to get their comeuppance. See, I lay in wait. I lay in wait for years, and then I'll pop up out of nowhere, and you'll be getting a notice in the mail, a summons to come to court because you're getting sued in civil court. And I have all the evidence on my side. And when that judge puts that gavel down, your black ass is going to owe me. That's how I play. There is, let me tell you something. There's consequences and repercussions for fucking over the Iceman. I play chess, not checkers. See, black folks like to talk that stick together shit and talk all that nonsense and then turn around and don't do shit for their people. Won't support black-owned businesses. If you just positively have to celebrate white supremacist Christmas, the least you can do is go and buy your gifts from a black-owned business. That's the least you can do. Show some kind of, because everybody else, let me tell you something. You might laugh at these little taco shops that they got all over your city. You know what? You might laugh at them. But you know what? Them people, their people support their people. Asians support their people. But then all other races, especially in the way of food and aesthetics and beauty, we go to Asian beauty salons. And not only us, also other races go to their nail shops and get their nails done. I wouldn't support their sorry asses. You don't even know what they saying, and they sitting up there talking about your ass while they giving you a pedicure with your dumb black ass. But you'll sit up here and skip over a black-owned beauty salon. I ain't going there. I ain't supporting no niggas. And black people actually talk like that. Black women hate other black women. But they'll go right over there to Fong Dong Song, and they'll go over there and get their nails done. And while they over there, while they got them mask on their face. And by the way, ladies, you sit up here and talk about all the cancers you get. You know why those Asian women, when they do your nails, they got their masks on? Because those chemicals got carcinogens in them. And what you definitely don't want to do is breathe in carcinogens and have them make contact with your mucous membranes inside your throat, your nostrils, your sinuses, would that say your throat and your lungs. But we so dumb, we so hard up to go kiss another race's ass because we hate ourselves. Keep on doing it, black women. Keep on doing it. Keep buying your lace fronts and your bundles from them dirty motherfuckers. Don't complain about getting your ass whooped, though. Don't complain about Fong Dong Song whooping your ass. Because you know what? One thing I find to be hilarious, black folks, is that every time black women get socked in the mouth by one of these Asians, beauty supply or beauty salon owners, you know what's the funniest thing about that is? You know what the funniest thing is? Those black women will keep going in there. They'll get their ass whooped and they'll keep going in those places. That's why I tell brothers, don't go caping for them black women that do that, them hood rats that do that, and them college educated hood rats that go to them places. The problem with black people, we don't support anything. If it's not voting in church, we don't support it. And voting in church has never done nothing for us. You can praise God at home. You don't need no middleman. Where did it say you need a middleman? Huh? See, all that is man-made constructs that they have created to make you scared. Well, if you don't come to church, you're going to go to hell. I've heard ministers say that. He ain't got no proof of a heaven and a hell. And then and you know what's really an insult is when they tell you that you need that when you ask ministers some of these lying ass ministers, well, what proof you got? They say, oh, well, you need to live by faith. You need to just believe. Let me ask you something. Next time you got your utility bill that got to get paid, whether it's your gas, water, sewer, or electric bill, when it gets past due and you haven't paid it, when they start calling you and asking for their money, here's what you should tell them: that you're a Christian and that they should, by faith, believe that you gonna pay that bill. Nigga, your lights and your water and your gas and your sewer gonna get cut off. Well, not your sewer, but the water, the gas, the electricity, and the water is gonna get cut off so fast. And you can talk that shit all day. I wish somebody would show up to my house telling me to live my life based on faith. This, black folks, this planet works on economics, and there are trillions of dollars that are traded and exchanged from hand to hand in an hour, and you're not part of that because you're sitting up here to an economic problem. Your solution is scripture. Nigga, you sound stupid. And telling somebody to live by faith. Let me explain something to you. I have clients. I have business clients and I have life coaching clients. And these people have to pay me up front before I will do a motherfucking thing. Because if I don't charge them up front, they will not pay. Ain't that right, YouTube? How many of you guys lie and say you donate and then don't donate, thinking I don't know your name? Some of you guys have been listening to me since 2011, 2012. Not since like 2010 when I first started doing this show, but you've been listening to me since 2011 and 2012, and you sitting up here thinking you can fool me. I'm the last person you can fool. That's why after every Player Circle broadcast, I set these live streams to private. Because I've had people email me and say, Ice, when I got ready to go look at the live stream from Saturday, for some reason I couldn't find it. Oh, that's because I set it to private. If you are not contributing via donations, you ain't gonna listen. How many times have I stopped the show in its tracks and ended the show because cheap ass, stingy ass niggas don't want to donate, but yet you coming over here to listen to my broadcast for free? You want to get gamed up for free. You want to get gamed up for free. Because a lot of you guys come from these single female-headed households where your mama whined and yelled and act like an idiot and then have no fucking sense. And your mother, if she did have a job, that's the only thing she ever was committed to. She wasn't committed to nothing else because you and your sister wouldn't have different daddies. The reason we have a lot of black men who expend no effort in leadership because you don't see your deep down inside psychologically. You don't see yourself as a man. See, when I look in the mirror, I don't just see somebody that looks like a man. Excuse me. I don't just see somebody that looks like a man. I am a man. Most of you can't say that. So you don't see any reason to be a leader. You don't see any reason why you should get those Asian parasites out of your neighborhoods, sucking off your people. You don't see a reason to get them Arabs out of your sucking off your community. You see no reason. As long as you don't have to open a store and sell things to your own people, and it's easy for you to walk your monkey ass over to that Asian and Arab-owned store that's charging your ass an arm and a leg, you don't care. That's just less you got to do, right? Long as you don't have to take any risk, right? Why should you take any risks, right? The easy thing to do is lay on your ass and vote and go to church and walk by faith. Ain't that right, Ezekiel? Ezekiel said, all we got to do is go to church. And on that great getting up morning, we all be free. Because we all going to him. Dumb niggas. We got to stop believing in dumb shit and start putting action to the fucking, start putting action in play. And I know that's something that's difficult for some of y'all to do. So that's why I told people, somebody said something to me one day. They said, how can you do that podcast? Man, you be talking shit. And I said, it's my way of giving back, my way of showing leadership. And I said, what you have to understand is that if you're not a leader, somebody got to follow because you still have a job to do, even as a follower, because you can go get other folks and say, hey, man, let's all put our money together and go get behind this grassroots political candidate. He wants reparations. We're giving him money. And he's willing to do our bidding at the state capitol and in Washington, D.C. and or Washington, D.C. You should not be voting for anybody unless they're a grassroots independent. If they come manufactured from the factory of the DNC and the RNC, you know they ain't looking out for us. Because the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are two sides to the same coin. And the coin is white supremacy. And just because Nancy Pelosi don't get up there and call us niggers and call herself a nationalist like Trump, doesn't mean she doesn't think the same thing about you that he thinks of you. That Nancy Pelosi, oh, she's another dangerous one, like Hillary Clinton. Hopefully, Trump will be in there long enough to let that domestic violence bill expire. That's all she cared about, was getting that renewed by Obama's do nothing ass. YouTube, where you at? All right. Hey guys, we're at $15. Let's at least try to get to 30. Okay? Those of you who haven't donated, please donate, man. Just come on, man. Let's raise $30. Come on, god damn it. Stop being full of shit. You're supposed to be part of the Iceman family. You ain't acting like family. Black people have no allies. Dr. John Henry Clark said, black men and women and children have no allies. Stop talking that black and brown coalition. There is no black and brown coalition. The only reason why you hear Don Lemon and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson talking about black and brown people, you get all these other old buck dancing coons that are in media talking that shit. You know why they talk that shit? Because they're trying to convince themselves that there's some black and brown coalition and alliance when there isn't. Not one time have I ever seen La Raza or any of these other so-called Latino advocacy groups out there stomping for us. And if they lie and said that they have, I ain't never seen none of them. They definitely haven't gotten in the line of fire like we have. We sat up there and caped for civil rights, and then all these other races came on in through the floodgates after we got water hoses sprayed on us and shot in the back like Medgar Evers. We lost Dr. King. We lost Malcolm X. We lost some very prolific black men and women. And all we've received after these great black men and women who have given their lives for us is a bunch of buck dancing coons and mammies and Negro bedwenches posing as advocates for us, when all they were really advocating for is their own pocketbooks and their own wallets and their own bank accounts. Al Sharpton has gotten rich off talking that shit. Jesse Jackson has gotten rich talking that shit. Obama got rich talking that shit. And I don't know how many other black reverends all across the country and black politicians have gotten rich off of us. And they put themselves in no position to take any risks. But they got all the rewards because we don't require anything. Black people don't require anything when you talk that Christianity bullshit. If you talk about black and brown alliances and all this other shit, black folks love to hear that. But you get a black man or a black woman out there talking about support black-owned businesses, oh, they'll run your ass out of town. Fortunately, these young black men and women are not voting and they're not going to church. Thank God. If every black church closed up right now, I wouldn't lose any sleep. And don't say, well, what about those people that work for that church? Man, come on. Black churches don't pay nothing. Black churches don't have employees. Not like the white ones. You got white folks that'll retire from them jobs. Black folks, they're you know, we ain't that stable financially. And take a quick break. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Keep it locked right here on the Iceman Show, where real talk meets activism. This is the Real Talk Express, y'all. Can you dig it? Let me cut this light on. Have you ever noticed how everything in American culture is about fear, about propaganda and fear? And listen to the little kiddie Christmas songs. You better be good or else you ain't gonna get no toys. Are you serious? So basically what you saying to me is that my parents ain't gonna buy me no toys because I'm just acting like a rambunctious kid, the way a rambunctious kid is supposed to behave. Is that what you telling me? That's why some people don't celebrate Christmas, because it sends the wrong message. All of a sudden, around this time of the year, you get all of these Caucasian people walking around talking about, love you, happy holiday. Oh, everybody's nice. Everybody's sipping on everybody's sipping on hot chocolate. Everybody's look home for the holidays, and everybody's nice. And then soon as January 1st come around, everybody go back to being an asshole. All of a sudden, everybody, it's funny to me. I remember one time, this was a long time ago. I used to be an assistant manager at this cafe. And I remember a lot of very wealthy people used to come in there. And I remember somebody telling me how this person was a multimillionaire. This person was a CEO of this corporation, and how this person they own, I don't know how many car dealerships. And so I knew there were multimillionaires coming in there. And I remember one time I was working, this might have been either 2 days before Christmas. I think it was like a couple of days before Christmas. This guy came, he was always really cordial. He was always cordial. And even when sometimes some people would screw up his order, he was still, pretty cool. He was still pretty chill about it. And I remember he came over to me either that day before Christmas or that 2 days before Christmas. He came over and gave me a $50 bill. He said, happy holidays. And I said, okay. Because at first I was kind of like, what you giving me some money for? Hey, dog, I don't get down like that. I mean, are you expect to get, your nutsack licked or something? Hey, dog, I don't get down like that. You take your money back. I don't need your money. If that's what this is about. He said, no, that's my Christmas. He said, that's my Christmas gift to you. I said, okay. Took my ass on. Okay. Took my ass on. I took my ass on. I got on like I got spit on. You dig? That's how that situation went down. See, they always, in American culture, they always try to scare the populace. They always try to scare you into doing something or not doing something. And we need to pay attention to that. Santa Claus is coming to town. You better not this. You better not that. That fear factor. If you don't go to church, you're going to go to hell. Do you have any proof of heaven or hell? No, but you should walk by faith because I said so. I'm like, nigga, if you don't get your stupid ass out of my face, if it ain't a known fact, nigga, I'ma take my chances. Fuck out of here. It's funny to me how folks will be talking that shit, talking about, I go to church every Sunday. How come you don't go? Because I got a brain. That's why that works. While you wasting your time up in there listening to that bullshit, I'm laying on the couch looking at the Seahawks game, having a ball. Or over here working on music, or writing my book, my second book, The Dating Bible. What up, B the Great B? What's happening, player? I'd like to thank everybody that has donated today. We're at $20. Let's get to $30. Come on, y'all. Let's get to 30. Come on. Let's raise $30 tonight. We're at 20. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be up to date and in the know as to what's popping with the Iceman Show and the Players Circle podcast on Saturdays, follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is THE the Iceman Show. And my username on there is Mr. Freeze. You can follow me on Instagram, The Iceman Show. And if you want to listen to old Blog Talk Radio broadcasts from last Saturday going all the way back to 2011, go to blogtalkradio.com/The Iceman Show. If you want to listen to those old broadcasts. We back in 2011, 2012, oh, we was clowning on there. Oh, if you want to hear some clowning, if you want to hear some old Lester Hope, if you want to hear some old Lester Hope goings on, go to blogtalkradio.com/The Iceman Show and listen to some of them old shows we was doing back in the day. Back when Lester Hope used to get dome on the show. Man, hey, man, when I go back and listen to that old shit, man, I be laughing my ass off. I said, I can't believe we was doing that shit. Hey, man, I had some cousins get mad. Boy, them shows we used to do back in the day about single moms. Oh, man, I had some cousins get mad. Oh, they got mad at my black ass. Oh, man, they got mad. You digs? Hey, Timmy Diamonds, man, come on, man. Hey, I know. Hey, brother, it's $5 Tuesday. Come on, player. Hey, I notice you ain't been representing, man. Come on, man. You've been delinquent, bruh. Go to PayPal, man. Go and do that. Go to AskTheIceman.com. Scroll down to the donate button. Come on, player. $5 Tuesday, player. Come on now. Come on. If one person do it, we all got to do it. Come on now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But they deal with us. They don't even have respect for black people. They just threaten us. They just threaten us. That's all they do to us. They just threaten us. And we buy into that shit because we got people threatening us. And black people are so scary and cowardly and fearful. I liken white supremacy to be like the Wizard of Oz. You thought the wizard was this big, huge figure, and come to find out it was a little fucking midget sitting behind a curtain with a bullhorn. That's what white supremacy is. And you got so many black folks out here who are scared of their shadow. Scared of their shadow. The Players Circle podcast, this will be this coming Saturday. This will be our 7th episode, our 7th broadcast. Okay. Got paper all over the damn place. The topic, the Players Circle podcast, the topic for Saturday will be, because I'm giving you guys a preview. It will be leveraging your assets and the fallacy of interracial dating. I promise you will not be disappointed. I promise you. That's our topic. Those are our topics for Saturday. So check it out. Now, remember, the guest call-in number. Remember, we do triple cast every Saturday. Okay? The guest call-in number is area code 646-668-2291. That's the guest call-in number. If you want to be on the air and you want to discuss some things, got some questions, got some comments you want to make, feel free to call. Ladies, you are strongly urged to call. Okay? Everybody, let me just say this before Saturday. Stop being scared to call in. Okay? Stop doing that. You can get drunk at Thanksgiving and talk all and lie and tell all the lies about all the shit you are doing or not doing, but you're too scared to call my show. Let me explain something to you, black folk. We got to stop being scary. We got to stop kissing everybody's ass. We go out here kissing everybody's ass. We kiss everybody, especially non-black people. We love to kiss everybody's ass because we really don't want to take any risks. We are the most risk-averse people on this planet. Which makes us look weak in the eyes of other races. That's why they have no problem putting hands on us or shooting us. Because they like, oh, them niggas ain't gonna do nothing anyway. All they gonna do is start singing Bible, singing Negro spirituals in March until we kill another one of you. I guarantee, just like I predicted after that huge Las Vegas slaying of all those innocent people, during this holiday season, somebody gonna pop some caps. I guarantee it. The caps will be popped. Understand me? There will be popping of the caps. There will be popping of the caps. Okay? Let me talk about something real quick before we go. They run this scam every year. And you guys know I talk about this every year before Black Friday. The price of a 42-gallon drum of oil, which is the WTI crude oil future. A barrel of oil was $77 2 weeks ago. Today, do you know how much a 42-gallon drum of oil was today? You know what the price was on the New York on the futures market? $53. You see the games they play? And it's going to stabilize around 48, 49. It ain't going to go lower than that. Now, see, gas where I live, it's always going to be over $3. It ain't going to be no lower than $3. That's just the way it is on the West Coast. You want to live out here on the West Coast, whether it's Washington State, Oregon, or California, you're going to pay $4 or $5 a gallon, or at least $3. Whereas down in San Antonio or in Houston, gas is probably $2.30 a gallon. That's because the refineries, they don't have to truck that gas that far. That's the only reason why gas is cheap down there in the South, in the Southwest, because all the refineries are down there. Not saying all of them, but most of them. But they always play this game every year. And the reason why they do it is because they want you to, the money you save on gas, they want you to spend that on Christmas gifts. And as soon as Christmas is done and gone, Damn near almost the next day, a barrel of gas will go from $45 a barrel up to $50-something a barrel, just that quick. And after the first of the year, it goes up even higher. And then soon as summertime start coming around, it'll start creeping back down just a little bit, but it'll stabilize. Some of you guys can say, well, Iceman, well, the reason why they're doing that is because the OPEC is pumping. They seem to pump more gas or more oil into the system, and that makes the price go down. Economically, that would be true if it wasn't for one thing. Gas consumption goes up during this time of year because people are shopping. So they're in the streets. Dude, let me tell you something. Where I live at, black people know I'm telling the truth. If you live in a city that is predominantly white like I do, or a state that's predominantly white, these white folks be in the streets during this time of year. And I'd be like, what the fuck are these people doing? They're out there in them damn streets, running around trying to buy shit. And come Black Friday, all you welfare hoes and all you bum ass niggas will be camping in front of Walmarts and Targets so you can buy some old goddamn PlayStation. Can't pay your rent, but you at Walmart trying to buy 4 Emerson 32-inch TVs with your bum ass. These people run these games, ladies and gentlemen. They run these games because they know you ain't gonna never challenge them. You ain't gonna never challenge these people. You're gonna do slave. You're gonna do like slaves usually do, and fall in line and do everything they tell you to do. And if there's something that you don't like, all you're gonna do is call Al Sharpton's show or Rachel or Karen Hunter's show and complain, or you're gonna go on Facebook complain about how racist Donald Trump is, or complain about how come more black men didn't get out and vote for Hillary 2 years ago. But one thing you're not going to do is stand up for yourself. One thing you're not going to do, and I'm counting on it, you're never going to get with other black folks and pool your money together and support black-owned businesses. Know how I know? Because last week you didn't do it. Last month you didn't do it. Last year you didn't do it. And the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. I've already predicted your behavior before you even went out there and executed a move. Because I'm telling you what you're going to do. I already know what you're going to do. This is why I can barely get black folks This is why I have every week, every time I have a broadcast, some of my listeners want to act brand new and act like I don't fundraise, when they know damn good and well, with the exception of a couple broadcasts, I did not fundraise, but people still donated money because they appreciate the game I give them. Most of these niggas are just looking for a free laugh. Because when I first started this broadcast 8 years ago, I was doing a lot of funny stuff on here. But when I saw people were listening, I say, oh, I got your attention. Now it's time for me to get serious. That's why I always get these idiots sending me emails talking about, hey man, what you do with the old video? Hey man, hey man, what you put them on DVDs and sell them, man? I'll pay $100. And I'm like, you bum ass nigga, you ain't even got $5. You got guys that listen to me who are high school teachers, middle school teachers. You make $50,000, $60,000 a year, and you too chicken shit to donate $5. Don't sit up here and tell me about what you gonna do. Come 2020, when during this next presidential election or selection, and this next election with Congress and other politicians who are running for office at the state, with the federal, state, and local and county level, how many of you guys are going to offer your vote for free? How many of you guys going to offer your vote for free? How many of you guys are going to continue to keep doing the same thing over and over again? And you know that shit don't work. You know going to church is a waste of your time, but you keep doing it. You keep on supporting Asian-owned and Arab-owned businesses, thinking that there's some pat on the head for you down the road. Black people have fought and died for everybody's civil rights except for their own. And it's going to keep happening because none of these other groups are going to fight for your civil rights. None. Not the Mexicans, not the Guatemalans, not the Arabs, and to a certain degree, not some of these Africans and some of these Caribbean blacks that come over here. It's just us. It's just you and I. And if we can't get on the same page, black folk, because let me tell you something, I'm not trying to scare you. I ain't trying to scare you. I didn't try to scare people with this book. I just gave them the truth. And I don't know how many people that bought my book email me and say, Ice, this ought to be a New York Times bestseller. Dude, you dropped so much information in here on mental health and what's going on in our American society. You talk about world affairs in here. How did you get all that in this little book? By the way, if you want to buy this book and you want me to autograph it, go to my website, asktheiceman.com, and scroll down to add to cart, and then it'll tell you what to do from there. And then what will happen is once I see that you bought it, then I'll go ahead and sign it and send it to you at the address that you leave on PayPal. So, see, I'd rather educate myself with this kind of stuff. Well, it's upside down on YouTube, but on Facebook, it's the right way for some reason. Every black person should get this book, Why the White Man is the Devil, by Muhammad Shabazz and Ali Shaheed. This is a very scholarly book, by the way. You should get the book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. You should get the book, the first six, well, it says the six black presidents. It's written by another scholar. I can't remember the brother's name. I haven't seen this book anywhere. You have to, a lot of these type of books, you got to get these at the black bookstore. I love black bookstores. Okay. Another book you need to get is The 48 Laws of Power by Richard Green. That's a must read, especially if you're a man. You need to read that book because you need to get some game. That book will teach you how to put together a code of conduct. It'll teach you how to do that. Man, I wish I'd have set things up so I could go to Vegas. It's just too late. I ain't spending no big money to fly to Vegas. Because if I win, I have to leave tomorrow night. I used to go when I lived in Cali. I used to go to Vegas every Thanksgiving, but I might just fly down there and if I get a good flight and a good room, because I want to stay at the Cosmopolitan or what's the name of that other one? I want to stay at Bellagio. I'm gonna stay at one of those, or I might just stay off strip at the Hard Rock. Man, it'd be some women at that Hard Rock Hotel, man. Have any of y'all been over there at the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas? Man, it'd be some women over there. I was like, shit. Some of my frat, we had a convention there. Shit, some of the frats, shit. We went over there. We got in the car, went over there. Man, we saw them fly honeys over there. It's like, who y'all with? I was like, who you with? Like, girl, shit. We looking for something to get into. We looking to get into something. Yeah, Dags. Come on, everybody. Let's get the 30. Come on, YouTube. Let's get to 30, man. Come on. We're at 20 right now. Now. Players Circle podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be let me grab that. Grab that real quick. Players Circle podcast will start at 2 p.m. Not Pacific time. So if you live Mountain, Central, Eastern, check your local listings, Necka, so you can be on board. Now remember, the Player Circle podcast is the only one of its kind that does Blog Talk Radio, okay? Blog Talk Radio interface, where you can call in and be a part of a podcast, Facebook Live, which is what you guys are on, and then YouTube live stream. So we got 3 platforms that I'm running, and we will be in full effect come Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Ladies and gentlemen, I have enjoyed this endeavor. I hope that you guys are learning that we have a lot of work to do. Just like I have a lot of work to do fundraising, I have a lot to do in getting the word out there. Some of you may not like what I say, but respect what I say and why I say it. Okay? Because it's all game. We got to get gamed up. We got to stop being scary. We got to stop being risk averse. And we got to start getting people out of our communities who don't belong there. We got to get all these other races who are acting like parasites in our community. We got to get all of them out of there. Because I'm going to tell you something. The number one thing that Black people are trying to do is kiss ass and buck dance and mammy and be a Negro bedwench because you think that's going to protect you. And mammies, Negro bedwenches, and coons get lit up every day. They get taken care of every day. It's not going to save you. So you might as well do you and be a real nigga instead of being a scary nigga. Because it's like this. Risk versus reward. Risk versus reward. That's how that works. If you don't risk anything, then you don't get anything. You see how that works? The reward should always be well above the risk. So if we're not opening Black-owned businesses, if we're not making political candidates answer to us legally and take our money, then we need to shut up somewhere and sit down because we're wasting our time. Donald Trump is going to be in there for 4 more years. And to really be honest, if they can't, if the Democratic Party can't do nothing but bring us Hillary 1.0 again, I'm going to be in the streets telling Nick, man, don't you vote for that woman. Don't you vote for that racist woman. You are wasting your time voting for Hillary. Crooked Hillary. I hope I have inspired you to want to get into the grassroots level of community organizing. I'm going to get out here in a little bit and start doing my thing. I'm already starting because I've already been talking to some people about a grassroots, talking about grassroots, and I don't have enough time to set up a super PAC. I don't have time because I know how to set up a super PAC. It's almost probably near the same way you set up a super PAC that you set up with set up a nonprofit. It's a lot of paperwork for either one of them, but I can do it. I get it done. But I'm not going to set up a super PAC and put my money in there. We have to start raising money to fund our candidate who's singing the praises of what we want. He's like, oh, Hey, I'm running on the reparations, SBA loans to black business ticket. Okay. Y'all gave me all this money and y'all voted for me. So I feel beholden to y'all. And that's what that's the kind of working relationship you need to have. Because ain't nothing free, black people. Voting is not free. Votes are to be leveraged along with money that you donate to that politician's campaign. And if you're not doing any of that, if you're not doing both of those things, you're wasting time. Your vote isn't for free. Your money ain't free. You got black folks running out here come this Christmas season, running around here spending all their money on Christmas gifts for people they can't even stand and can't stand them. I haven't bought a Christmas gift in years because I tell people I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. But how do you have fun? I have plenty of fun. Christmas ain't been that much of a fun since I was a kid. It was fun when I was a kid. It ain't fun now. As an adult, I got way more important things to do. You digs? Triple cast this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be on 3 platforms, blogtalkradio.com/The Iceman Show, Facebook Live, and YouTube live stream. Show your support for the Iceman. I'm in need for a major vacation, but man, I just don't feel like taking time off. Well, folks, now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. You know, you could have gone anywhere else, but baby, you kicked it with the Iceman. And for that, I loves you. Come on, man. Let's get to $30. Come on, YouTube. You're at $20. Come on, man. There's at least 15 people who have not donated. Come on. Go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down, and make a $5 donation. Are you that trifling? Come on. Player Circle podcast this Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Topic is leveraging your assets and the fallacy of interracial dating. Come by and check us out, man. Be in the place. You already got the guest call-in number. All you got to do is call in Saturday, man. You digs? Hey, get on the air and talk some of that turkey off. Because you know you better got all fat and stank eating all that food. I saw people at the store today getting 2 or 3 turkeys. I'm like, shit. If I was gonna make a turkey dog, it's gonna get fried. You dig? It's gonna get fried. That's on my mama, dog. All right, y'all. You tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Holla at your boy.